Governor of Madhya Pradesh, Lalji Tandon, is advising the Kamal Nath government of the state to uphold law of the state. And the governor also, in his very brief address, has primarily asking and advising the MLAs who must uphold the constitution. After that, the governor, after a brief interaction with the speaker, NP Prajapati, has left the assembly premises after this very short address.
माननीय सदस्यों को शुभकामनाओं के साथ ये सलाह देना चाहता हूं कि प्रदेश की जो स्थिति है उसमें जिसका अपना दायित्व है वो शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से निष्ठापूर्वक और संविधान के द्वारा निर्देशित परंपराओं के अलावा नियमों के साथ उसका पालन करें ताकि मध्य प्रदेश का जो गौरव है, लोकतांत्रिक परंपराएं हैं, उनकी रक्षा हो सके। ये मैं आपको सलाह देने के लिए मैंने ये किया।
All right, so giving their best wishes and also an advice to the incumbent government. I'm joined by our consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai, National Affairs editor Rahul Srivastav, and also on the ground is my colleague Mosmi Singh. Mosmi, first an update from you. Reactions coming in from the Congress party considering what's happening in Gujarat as well with resignation of MLAs. In Madhya Pradesh, how is the party reacting to the crisis? And of course with the MLAs not yet returning from Bengaluru. Mosmi.
Pooja, it's very interesting because it's a cascading effect that we see, you know, a regional satrap asserting himself, the Congress High Command backing him up, and that is Kamal Nath for you, and then it actually has a ripple effect with Scindia defecting to the BJP. And now you have the entire, it's opened an entire Pandora's box for the Congress High Command because you have regional satraps who are asserting themselves elsewhere as well. So very interesting situation. And it's a Herculean challenge for Kamal Nath to actually pass this litmus test because not only his chief ministership is at stake but also his reputation vis-a-vis the High Command.
All right, so Governor there advising to the Kamal Nath government. The Congress caught on different boards this time, just unaware of how to manage. I also want to now ask Rahul Srivastav. Rahul, because you spoke to the speaker, NP Prajapati, you were in Bhopal when the crisis broke out. Today, do you see Kamal Nath with some confidence at all of having to pull back, having to have his government back in shape? Or do you think it's now over? 107 already with the BJP, 22 MLAs in total with 6 MLAs whose resignations have been accepted. Are we looking at a BJP government in Madhya Pradesh if and when the floor test happens?
You see, there is, if you look at the entire drama, one element is there. Rajdeep spoke about the possibility of
the judicial intervention.
President's rule, judicial intervention and the president's rule element. You see, I don't think the BJP wants to dirty its hands, have a blood of a government on its hand. So that will be explored as the last option. I think what the state governor will do is build towards what can be created as a template called constitutional breakdown. Now, what can be a constitutional breakdown is that a government which does not have the numbers presenting a budget. And if it is voted, does not have the numbers, this is a crisis. And that is why governor will do all visible things to show that Kamal Nath is the chief minister and the ruling Congress there is creating a constitutional crisis. Right now, what one can say, the BJP has an advantage with 16 MLAs. Even with the 6 gone, the numbers of the Kamal Nath government are doubtful because the strength of the house has come down. And that is why Kamal Nath is playing for time. See, in these crises, what happens that an MLA is a very he may have defected, but he's a very nervous entity. It's like waiting outside an operation theatre. So what the Congress will like to do is play on their nerves. Make all the maneuvers by time. Make all the maneuvers to show that this government is not falling.
But what's stopping the floor test? I'm asking for a more layman to understand what is stopping the floor test. Why can't the floor test happen in the next few hours?
See, it is to delay the inevitable. It is also to try the possibilities back. That's what I was saying. if you play on the nerves of these MLAs, if the speaker does things, Kamal Nath says things that we have the numbers, you start planting the seeds of doubt in the mind of those 16 MLAs who are camping in Bengaluru. What if some of them come back? That what if drives a lot of politics in every country. And the Congress will keep thinking of that what if, keep trying to buy time. And that is why I say, if the center does not step in, if the Supreme Court doesn't step in, Kamal Nath has time till the 30th of March to pass the finance bill, on which day the BJP can bring down the government in a legitimate numerical manner.
I want to now go across to Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, with the political experience that you've had of covering different parties and their crisis as well, we also must discuss the ethics of politics here. Because a voter is watching right now in Madhya Pradesh, across the country. They vote in a government, then this crisis suddenly comes up. The government is almost about to fall. BJP says we have nothing to do with it. Congress says it's aspirations that we have no control over. What about the ethics of politics in a democracy?
I don't think that's a question that should even be asked anymore. Morality really doesn't matter. Look at what has happened. 15 months after you are elected on a particular party's ticket, you are shifting almost wholesale, not even retail, almost wholesale to another party, and you'll get re-elected possibly on that on a new party ticket. And it's not just happening in Madhya Pradesh. It's happened in Karnataka, it's happened in Goa. And nor is it a recent phenomenon. In the 1980s in particular, when Indira Gandhi came back to power, there was the famous Bhajan Lal incident where Bhajan Lal brought his entire party along with him and became the chief minister of a Congress government in Haryana. And through the 1980s, you had a spate of defections, as a result of which anti-defection laws came into being. But the anti-defection law also is unable to prevent a situation where a certain group of MLAs decide that they will resign, bring down a government, lose their membership and get re-elected. Now, it was believed that because they would be forced to resign and get re-elected, that would act as an obstacle, as some kind of a hindrance to them, would act as some kind of a check on their defecting so easily. But as you've seen in Karnataka, all those who defected, resigned, have got re-elected. We've seen similar things happen in Goa. It happens in small states where you only need a few MLAs to bring down a government, but now it's even happening in large states. Let's be honest, this instability in Madhya Pradesh, Pooja, was built into the verdict. The gap between the BJP and the Congress was just 7 MLAs, with the balance being held by BSP, SP and independents. That Kamal Nath has been able to carry it along for 15 months is because he's a well-networked politician. But it was going to collapse sooner rather than later. I think he miscalculated. He thought Jyotiraditya Scindia had the support of 7, maximum 10 MLAs. Didn't realize that the BJP would now fish in troubled waters and add another 10 to 12 MLAs. You know, it really reveals that morality doesn't matter. Forget about assemblies. It's happening even in Rajya Sabha elections. At least in Rajya Sabha elections, you expected that political parties would act according to a particular party whip. And now you're seeing in Gujarat, you can resign before an election. Rajya Sabha MPs are switching sides, getting disqualified and then getting re-elected by the new party. Neeraj Shekhar is a good example. Left the Samajwadi Party, loses his Rajya Sabha membership, joins the BJP and gets an immediate Rajya Sabha ticket from the BJP. So even the upper house, the so-called House of Elders, is not immune to these practices. Morality doesn't matter today in politics.
Well, as they say, all's fair in love, war and politics, Rajdeep. Yes, it's disappointing to an extent because the voter clearly votes in a government for a reason. But Mosmi also giving us live updates on the numbers. Mosmi, 22 MLAs, rebel MLAs, 6 have had their resignations accepted. It seems that the BJP has the number. But my question to you will be that it won't be really easy even for the BJP. They have their own loyalists to take care of. Then you have another 22 MLAs. If they switch on to your party, you will have to also give them some responsibilities. And we're talking about, of course, if the BJP now comes to power. So do you think that would be easy or difficult for the BJP? Any plans being made already on that? Mosmi?
A very pertinent question, Pooja, and that's been preying not only on the minds of the BJP but also on the minds of the Congress MLA, and of course Jyotiraditya Scindia would have considered that factor. But consider this, in a wedding of JP Nadda's son, you have Amit Shah sitting right next to Dharmendra Pradhan, Narottam Mishra, you have the Minister Mr. Tomar, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and you have Zafar Islam right in front, and they have a good 15-minute conversation. This was about 2 weeks back. So the BJP has actually micromanaged. Now Narendra Singh Tomar and Narottam Mishra belong to the Gwalior Chambal region. You have Pradyuman Thakur, who is very close to Jyotiraditya Scindia. He is a minister in the Kamal Nath government. He was a minister, and he was pitched against Jaybhan Singh Pawai, he's a BJP strongman from Gwalior.
Yes.
So they have ironed out and worked out the internal differences. That's the level that the BJP has worked out the arithmetic. They know that there will be a lot of local rebellion and frustration, but perhaps the BJP at this point of time thinks that it will be able to manage the local rebellion for a bigger purpose, for a bigger goal, and they've been able to convince the local leadership about it.
That's very interesting what you're telling us, Mosmi. I take that question to Rajdeep, because Rajdeep, going by what Mosmi is telling us about the BJP, the strategy is, at least it seems, to the point. How does it reflect on the Congress leadership? There were aspirations even of the ministers. 6 ministers resigning who were already in the government, had enough power for them to defect to other parties. Clearly reflects and raises a lot of questions on the Congress leadership.
Oh, absolutely it does. You know, I think what has happened in the last 8 months is that the Congress has been completely rudderless. Rahul Gandhi resigned as president, was replaced by his mother as interim president, but it was never going to be a real option. What has happened is that the Congress is now simply drifting with no leadership. And without a clear high command central leadership, the Congress can't function. When, you know, this is a party which is held together by the idea of a strong central leadership or by the idea of being in power. Today it has neither.
Yes.
You know, that is the problem that the Congress has. Jyotiraditya Scindia could be offered the lure of a ministership at the center, which the Congress cannot offer. I asked Kamal Nath, why didn't you, announce Jyotiraditya Scindia as your Rajya Sabha candidate much earlier? He said we would have announced it in any case,
yes,
but I can't give him a ministership at the center. That's only something that the BJP can. Much of this factionalism in Madhya Pradesh earlier used to get resolved because there was a way in which you could distribute largesse or among these various factions. Now it's become more and more difficult. I don't know what more the Scindia faction could have got in terms of ministerships, but clearly Jyotiraditya Scindia was being, in a way, sent a message that he was no longer seen at the same level as a Digvijay Singh or Kamal Nath. That may have happened before the elections, but now the party was being run by these two individuals.
Yes.
And he felt left out. The Congress leadership didn't really reach out to him, didn't try and resolve the matter, didn't intervene. So I think it reveals the weakness of the Congress. We are seeing it in Karnataka earlier last year. We've seen it now in Madhya Pradesh. And who knows which state next? We just don't know where. Once you have a domino effect, once the BJP feels it can poach on Congress MLAs across the country, we don't know which state will be next. We are seeing it in Gujarat.
Yes.
And the aim in Gujarat clearly is to deny the Congress a second Rajya Sabha seat.
And with already all of BJP fielding a third candidate for Rajya Sabha elections in Gujarat, 4 MLAs resigning, I think the next state is already up and coming. I request all of you to stay on. There's breaking news coming in. Madhya Pradesh Assembly session has been adjourned till March 26th. It seems that the Speaker has definitely taken a decision here, NP Prajapati, Speaker of the Assembly, adjourning the Assembly session for March 26th. Remember, Governor had appealed and advised the MLAs, especially the government of the state, to abide by the Constitution and uphold the law. Rahul Srivastav, our National Affairs Editor, joining us on this March 26th. So, the budget, still time to be passed. But at least the next few days, we're talking about a week here, at least 10 days. No session happening, which means no floor test happening as well.
Yes, Pooja, this is exactly what information we had provided yesterday, that there will be no floor test today. And it is the vote, the government will look for a vote on the budget as a test of the floor. Otherwise, they are not going to go in for a floor test. Now what happens that Mr. Kamal Nath is clearly buying time, as we were discussing earlier, by adjourning the proceedings. What he has done is that he has averted any crisis as far as the agenda of a trust motion is concerned.
For 10 days, which is a long time.
For 10 days. What happens now that the governor will step in and ask the chief minister and the speaker what exactly transpired to the diktat that he had given, that you should prove your majority. Now, he can fall behind the alibi that I have done it on the 26th. I'm very sure by tonight or tomorrow, the issue will hit the Supreme Court.
Okay.
People will approach the Supreme Court that here the governor's directive is not to be followed. And I think in this intervening period, the governor will fire a lot of missives to the chief minister and then build a case for a constitutional crisis.
Governor, let's just, for the viewers who are tuning in, the governor had said and advised for an immediate floor test. But the speaker has now adjourned the assembly for the next 10 days. Can we say this, Rahul, that this is a point plus for Kamal Nath for now?
You see, it gives him an advantage which could well be short-lived, primarily because, see, if you notice, the governor was reluctant to address the House before a trust vote.
Okay.
He agreed, but if you see, he has not sung praises about the government in a long-drawn speech. He has given a very short address. I think that's a compromise. Then he gave a hidayat or advice that follow the constitutional norms. That's a very rare thing to happen. Usually, the president addressing the parliament and the governors addressing the house stick to the speech presented by
the government,
the cabinet and the government. He has diverted from it. He has given an advice. That means that he is on the floor of the house committed what he expects from the government, which he thinks has lost the majority in the House.
So I can also say
he's
here,
building a case very clearly that there is a sense of defiance and breakdown of constitution happening.
And India Today's breakings are all now coming to as exactly what had been said. Rahul had also maintained some of those points, and Mosmi also with us. Mosmi, so 26th March is when Madhya Pradesh Assembly has been adjourned till. Kamal Nath government has time. Do you see some of that action taking place in the national capital, Delhi? Meetings, perhaps Kamal Nath could just pay a visit to Delhi. What are you picking up on that, Mosmi?
I was having a very important conversation with one of the very close aides of Kamal Nath, and on the condition of anonymity, Pooja, I can tell you that the Kamal Nath government really is thinking that this is a shot in the arm for them, because as Rahul also said, the time buying tactic. Time is the greatest healer, they say. Whether it will heal the Kamal Nath government, we'll have to wait and see. But 12 to 13 rebel MLAs are in touch with the Congress party, is what the Kamal Nath camp is claiming, and they think that within these days that they have got, they'll be able to get in touch with them. As they've already said, the chief minister said that the MLAs have been kidnapped and democracy is being belittled by none other than the Prime Minister. Here you have the Kamal Nath camp who feel reassured that with this time, they'll be able to get that number.
Mosmi, please stay on with me because Rajdeep also is with us. Rajdeep, if there is no judicial intervention for now, as you're also suggesting, or any other extreme measure to be taken in these times, is this a shot in the arm? Is this a plus point for Kamal Nath? Do you think 10 days is enough, possibly, for him to save his government?
Look, the fact is the BJP has the numbers. Kamal Nath now has some time. We don't know how much time, because nothing is there to stop the governor from sending a missive to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Nothing is stopping the BJP now from going to the courts. In fact, what I am told is the Kamal Nath government wants the BJP to go to court, because the court also will not be able to hear this matter immediately. You know, it may take a few days. So Kamal Nath's one strategy has been to try and buy time. If he is able to buy time, he can try one of two things. Either convince some of these rebel MLAs to switch back, not easy, or continue to do what some people close to Kamal Nath are claiming, that there is a restive group even within the BJP that's ready to switch possibly to the Congress. Either way, once you have, if this goes on for as long as 10 days, then anything can happen in Indian politics. 10 days is a long time. My sense, though, is the BJP and the governor will not give 10 days. I believe that in the next 24 to 48 hours, expect this matter to go to the courts, or the governor to intervene in some manner or the other, using possibly the Rashtrapati Bhavan as using
Yes.
firing over the shoulders of Rashtrapati Bhavan to try and intervene, claiming there's been a constitutional breakdown.
All right, so BJP may have the numbers. Kamal Nath for now has the time as well. I'm heading into a very short break. I am requesting all of you to stay on, leaving you with these visuals. Some of the MLAs there in the assembly talking, interacting, wonder what's on everybody's mind. We'll discuss that once we return.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.